Now, really quickly before I go, I want to give my commentary on the media angle of the NBA Finals. So, as we know, currently, right now, as I speak, Mike Breen and Jeff Van Gundy both tested positive for COVID. So, thoughts and prayers out to them. I think Mike Breen is feeling fine. He was trying to go for game one, but I guess he didn't get cleared in time. I assume he'll be back for game two, and I'm rooting for him. I'll tell you why I say it in a second, but I'm rooting for him to come back on Sunday. Jeff Van Gundy, game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals on Sunday night, he sounded sick because we found out that Mike Breen tested positive earlier on Sunday. So we listened to the game, and Jeff Van Gundy is not himself. It sounded like he was fighting, like just to talk and fighting to breathe. Like someone said, he sounded like SpongeBob in the Suds episode when SpongeBob had the Suds. And listen, I'm not trying to joke at the expense of Jeff Van Gundy, but that's how he sounded. And we all were saying, hey, no joke, there's something going on with Jeff Van Gundy. And come to find out, he tested positive. So I hope he's okay, and I hope that he can at the very least come back maybe Sunday, how he sounded, maybe game 3 when we take it to Boston on Wednesday or Thursday. But my whole entire thing is you have Mark Jones, who is an OG. Mark Jones was right alongside Stuart Scott as one of the pioneers of Black culture and Black dialect on ESPN. Like ESPN was very much, white male dominated, but you had Stuart Scott and Mark Jones that brought that flavor and that color to SportsCenter. And it really inspired a whole generation of, now you're now broadcasting greats that are on TV now, right? Really of all races and genders. Stuart Scott really inspired them, but Mark Jones is doing the exact same thing because Mark Jones has been at ESPN for that long. And I've heard Mark Jones through my childhood because I used to study the Black men in media, especially sports media. I studied them religiously because I wanted to be just like them. But one thing I can say as someone that is a fan of Mark Jones, he called the Celebration Bowl back. He's called actually the last few Celebration Bowls that's been on ESPN. And he called it with RG3 and Jay Walker back in 2021. And he threw up hooks. He's not a Q, but he threw up hooks. He says stuff like, oh, he's in his bag like his fries at the bottom. He says things. I want to play this. He says things like this.
The Celtics have stormed ahead. This insurrection has them leading by 11.
He called the Boston Celtics comeback an insurrection. And man, Mark Jones, I love Mark Jones, man. He's inspired me. He speaks his mind. He's authentic in how he speaks his mind, how he does what he does. But I just want to tell Mark Jones, that it's not 1999 anymore. It's not 2002. It's not 2005. It ain't 2015. I need him just to call the game. Be animated, be colorful, but just call the game, brother. You don't got to do all these crazy analogies because it's cringy. The thing I hate that he says, I hate when he says, oh, Jason Tatum's playing with his food. Oh my God, I hate when he says that. Steph Curry playing with his food on the perimeter. Bro, he's doing a dribble move. He's not playing around with them. He's not playing around with him. He's just doing a dribble move. If anything, he's sizing up his defender. See, this is why we like Mike Breen. We like Mike Breen. We like Iron Eagle. We like Kevin Harlan. We like them because they make the game simple. They paint the picture for us. We can see what's going on in the game, but they're almost creating a soundtrack for us. And they're tracking what's going on for us. And they're telling us what's going on in the story of the game and the things that we can't see that they can see because they're in the arena. They don't do all these crazy analogies and crazy puns. They don't do that. And during the regular season, on a random Friday night, that's fine. If the Celtics and the Warriors are playing in November on a Friday night, you have Mark Jones and Mark Jackson. Okay, like he's in it, like Steph Curry's in his bag like his fries at the bottom. But for the NBA Finals, man, that is cringy, dog. You're 60, man. You're almost 60, Mark Jones. I don't want to hear that someone is in their bag like his fries at the bottom. I don't want to hear that. And I don't know who. It's sort of funny he said that insurrection line, that they stormed back like an insurrection. Like, it's funny that he said that, but it was still cringy. And I hope he don't get in trouble for that, because I mean, I could see that being a situation in which he does get in trouble. But Mark Jones got to quit. Like, he got to stop doing that. Mark Jones is too good for that. I'm pretty sure Mike Breen comes back on Sunday. He goes back to the radio broadcast with Doris Burke, because he currently, before he had to get called up when Mike Breen tested positive for COVID, he was on the radio broadcast nationally on ESPN Radio with Doris Burke. You can hear that broadcast on Sirius XM, on the different local affiliates, local ESPN affiliates around the nation. So you can hear those games, right? He was doing a pretty good job because, like, doing a radio broadcast, in my estimation, of me studying radio like how I do, man, it's hard to call basketball games, period, and football, basketball games, any sport, because it takes a lot of dedication, and you really have to be abreast of what's going on. Basketball even more so, because basketball is so fast paced, right? Because I called basketball when I was back in college, like, and it was, I did play by play and color a lot of the times by myself, right? And it was a lot. and then I did an internet radio broadcast when I was a senior. It was a lot, so I know how it can be. And Mark Jones is one of the best, right? He's doing a great job at that radio broadcast. But I think at some point in time, someone has to tell him, man, it's not funny. It's not compelling. It's cringy. We're not laughing with you at this point, Mark Jones. We're laughing at you. I'm like, I'm sorry. You're our brother, but we're laughing at you. Just like how you threw up them hooks, we cringed then during the Celebration Bowl. We're laughing at you.